So I want to talk about last year a little bit because you had a great year last year, but there was a shoulder injury involved that you ended up coming back from. But how are you preparing now on pace to throw the most innings you have in your life? Coming off that year where you threw a bunch of innings but ended up having an injury, how have you prepared for this year, and how are you preparing now throughout the season for the long stretch, the long haul of this year?
Yeah. So hurt my shoulder last year, March-ish, April, whenever the time period was, and then came back from that. Wasn't feeling 100%. Still was didn't feel as strong as it could have been. Kind of just grinded through the season, and then this off season really focused on getting it back to feeling the strength that I needed and I wanted. And during that lockout, got with a PT and a strength guy that really helped me kind of facilitate those goals and had me come into spring training this year in a good spot of keeping my shoulder strong and mobile and all the things that I need to do. And then just kind of, I've been trying to just like maintain that thought thus far in the season and hopefully continue that.
So are you do you still have the same in season regiment that you always have?
It's similar, but there's a little added emphasis on some shoulder strength stuff.
Okay. So now here we are in 2021, and one, congratulations on the year you're having. It's awesome, and I'm so pumped for you, and it's a lot of fun, honestly, to watch you take the mound every fifth day. And this is kind of the first year that it's like, hey, you're gonna take the ball every fifth day. There's no relieving option involved. Like, you're taking the ball every fifth day. What has this season? Is there anything different this year that you're doing from years past, like this off season during the shutdown? Is there anything this year that you're focusing on, or that you focus on the mound, whether it be mechanically, the way you prepare? Has anything changed this year from the last few?
Um, had a good conversation with Doc in spring training. It was really early in spring training, like
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like that first week that we were there. Kind of just sat in the office with him and Brandon Gomes and just sat there and chit chatted for a little bit. And we talked about closing doors. He basically said, or like the emphasis of the conversation was that me being like a little sponge or whatever, just trying to, take in as much information as I could from everybody. I mean, we have uh, legends on this team, pitching legend, David Price, Kirsch, Walker has had outstanding seasons the last couple of years. Julio, um, catching guys like Russ and Barnes and Will, and just trying to take in all this information from everybody. Um, and Doc basically just said, like, it's time to close some doors, and you've taken all this information. It's time to kind of stop taking that information, stop trying to gather more information, and just be yourself and go out there and throw, and you're gonna get the ball and yeah, just go with it.
I mean, there really are a lot of legends in this on your team, and in the rotation as well. One of which, and probably the top guy, and one of the best pitchers of all time in Clayton Kershaw. As a young guy coming up through the organization and then being on the big league team and being around him, what is something that you've learned from him that you take with him when you pitch every day?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing that I learned from him is just throw strikes. You go out there and you compete with your whatever stuff you have that day, and you just kind of see what happens. You can't go out there and pitch defensively. You got to stay aggressive and be in the zone.
So I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. I think that's the saying. But yeah, I think it would be awesome, and it would be my vote for you to start the All-Star Game in LA this year. I think that would be awesome. How much would that mean to you this year to be able to do that? Obviously, it's not a certainty by any means yet, but how much would it mean to you to be able to pitch in LA at Dodger Stadium in the All-Star Game, when this year, as of right now, you're leading the league in wins and ERA? How cool would that experience be for you?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I just try to take it one outing at a time. So not trying to get too far ahead of myself, but it would be great to just make the team, and then anything on top of that would just be a bonus for me. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself, and the goal is to win today, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow.
That's so awesome, man. So I've read a lot of you. You talk about your mentality and how your mentality of playing the game of baseball has gotten you along to where you are today, every step of the way. You talk about mentality and your mentality playing the game. What is that mentality?
Um, I just try to remind myself that we're playing a kids game, and we're supposed to have fun, and the goal is to just go out there and compete, and with whatever you have that day. And for myself, I'm a pitcher, so I'm just trying to throw strikes and battle and trying to win every pitch, win every at bat, and yeah, we'll see what happens from there.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.